Good day. This is Impala LFX13, and I'm going to keep going on my winter mileage, mile per gallon test. This is going to be my fourth one. This is my personal truck. It's a 2010 Dodge Dakota. Has currently 152,800 something kilometers. I did all the maintenance on this truck. Pretty reliable. The only thing that's not stock in this truck right now, it's the exhaust. It has the Gibson Superflow technology muffler on it with the 3-inch exhaust cat back. I also have a cold air intake, but I removed it today and I put the factory intake. And I also have a Nipertech Econ that I also removed for this test. So today the test will be as stock as possible. I'll do the same loop at first with just the oil. The oil is 5W20 Pennzoil Ultra Platinum on it. And after the first loop, I'll fill it up again and all that, and I will have to do the math, but it's about 2.5 ounces of Turbo MAXX oil conditioner or oil additive, and redo the same tests back to back. The reason I'm inside here, sorry if the video may be a little dark, but it's too cold outside. It's like minus 28 degrees Celsius, or I don't know, minus 20 Fahrenheit. So I'll how can I say that? I'll do the same. I'll probably film when I'll add the additive in there, but that's about it. And the rest, I'll see you guys in the war room with all the data. All right, that's all for me for now. All right, I'm back in the war room, and I have some quite interesting results. I make it short. The footage of the outside. It was too windy and too cold, so I'll take more time here on the board. So the vehicle test was obviously my personal truck, 2010 Dodge Dakota. The weight test was about 5,000 pounds. I had 150 pounds on in the box, plus you know, the two people in and a few other stuff. So it's about 5,000 pounds. It's not a light truck. It's a full hydroform chassis on that truck. I started the test at 152,844 kilometers, and when it was all over, it was 153,085. Last oil change was made a few weeks ago at 151,100 kilometers. 5W20 Pennzoil Ultra Platinum on that one. The fuel was 87, and the engine was the first time I ever used a test on a single overhead cam. It's the V6 3.7, the Power Tech. What you don't see on the board, that truck is equipped with a final drive ratio of 355, open diff, nothing fancy. And it has the 4-speed auto on it. I know it's 4-speed, but it actually revs low at 62, 63 miles an hour. You're at 1,700 RPM. Again, the only thing that was not factory on that truck was the exhaust, the Gibson exhaust. Outside of that, the tires are a little bigger than factory. They're 245/75/16. They're like 31-inch instead of 30-inch, and they're 10-ply tires, so they're heavier. In the front, I got the Michelin Winter LTX, and on the rear, I got the General Grabbers Arctic studded. Michelin doesn't make any studded tires, and here I need stud tires. So on the first test, the loop, first and second loop was exactly the same, 120.4 kilometers. Unfortunately, in miles, I don't know, but it should be at least 70, between 70 and 80 miles. Total fuel use on the first test was 18.133 liters, which is 15.061 liters per 100K, or 15.618 MPG US, or 18.756 MPG UK. So idle times, they're there for reference, 2 minutes 45, an hour 18 was the total trip, and average speed was 92.2. On that test, the temperatures was minus 21 degrees Celsius, which in Fahrenheit it's still in negative. I don't know where exactly what it is. On both tests, the pressure was 103 kilopascal going up, and towards the end of the test was starting to snow. Humidity, it's at 75%, and I had the wind from the north, 6 kilometers per hour. So basically on when I was coming back, I would have a sideway wind against, not favorable this time. For test number 2, the results gets pretty interesting. I had a 2.7 ounce of Turbo MAXX in the oil, and a quarter ounce in the power steering. And I told my partner, in about 10 minutes on the drive, I said, holy crap, the engine seems to be running smoother, I should say. So on that trip, 120.4 kilometers, and here this is get very interesting. If you have a V6 3.7 from Chrysler, Dodge, that engine, there's no car with that engine, but I know there's some Mitsubishi Raiders have it, Jeep Liberties. Anyway, there's a few trucks and Jeeps who have that V6 3.7. So total fuel for that one was 14.232. That's minus 3.901 liters. That's quite impressive. The return on the liters per 100 kilometers 11.821. So that's minus 3.24 liters per 100K. So if you start adding the mileage, you'll see the difference. MPG in US, that's plus 4,281 US miles per gallon. And MPG UK, that's 5.141 better. So I don't know what to tell you, but I'm very impressed so far with the Turbo MAXX. I think last video I did mention I ordered two other 8-ounce Turbo MAXX with the C4 green. I still did not receive it. I follow the tracking history from UPS, and UPS are just, they're just out of this world. That company, no business should deal with them. Last time I checked, it was still in Miami on the 24th December, waiting to depart, and it's still there when I checked yesterday morning. So if Mr. Turbo MAXX, you're listening to me right now, I would strongly suggest to find other ways to deliver your product, because UPS is not providing the service, especially not for the money we're paying. So that's just my rant for today. But for the product itself, I have nothing against it. I wanted to put that in the truck a few weeks ago, but I says no, I'm gonna put it to do the test. So this test on a single overhead cam makes me curious. Now I want to test a 2014 Honda Odyssey. I don't know when it's going to be, but that van is equipped with a V6 3.5 sock, also all aluminum on that one. But I think my next test will be a 2014 Hyundai Elantra GT, and maybe a 2017 Hyundai Elantra Sport, I think that one. So stay tuned, I'll have more. Obviously, depending of the weather. I wanted to do it last week, but there was too much snow that was falling. Even if it's cold, if the roads are dry, I'll do it. Again, this is a real world MPG test loop, winter. And one thing I noticed with my truck, which I'm very surprised, with the Turbo MAXX, is basically giving me the fuel mileage I usually do in the summer. Because my truck, as soon as it gets cold, it's instead of using 12 liters per 100K, it uses about 14. So I'm very impressed, and I'm also anxious this summer to test the Hypertech Econ, because that's one thing I noticed when I was driving. There's some hills that usually I take, it stays on fourth gear all the time, but this time it did downshift more often than it usually does. So I really want to try the Econ, but I'll put it back on the truck, but I'll wait this summer. I want to do probably like a 9 per miler type test. So that's it for today. And again, if you have a Hyundai Elantra with the 1.8 new engine, or a Chrysler Dodge V6 3.7 PowerTech engine, I strongly recommend you to use Turbo MAXX. It would pay for itself in no time. So cheers and thank you for listening.